river's holding about 45 feet, which is above the major flood stage at 52. It's a flood stage. They got the problems they had last week with the pumps taken care of, so we didn't have to keep them a pump. We were going to get an 8-inch pump out of Barkley Dam with the Corps of Engineers. We made arrangements to get that if that was needed, but we didn't need that over the weekend. The only damage we had, that's to my knowledge, we had during the storms, I guess that was Thursday morning, was there's some tin blown off the roof, barn out there on Independence Road, and a couple of trees that were down. I mean, there's one like Coleman Lake, and there was another place I can't remember, but overall pretty good shape there.
We went and helped our partners out across the river, see if they went in there, see if they used anything. They had it under control, so we went and come on back. So tornado hit pretty good over there. So, but we're fortunate to get it down track and get Massac County. So,
Yeah, if it were the, you know, I stayed on the ground with the track right outside Brookport to that part of the county again. So track that into the county and then do hard into Polk County. Not in that order, but hard.
this HMEP grant, the reason we had to adjust it is for any unused funds that we don't plan on using. So we can put it back to the key to go ahead, and so when the next grant period comes open for this next grant, which will be here within the next month or two, so they can be able to reward out more money. So any unused funds, we kind of put to recycle it. That's what it is. It was only like we took out, the other one was meant for like your dry erase boards, ICS vests, all that. That's things that we didn't go ahead and try to procure this time around. So. All right, so the .gov with the cybersecurity grant, the HAVA grant, through the Board of Elections, it's going to be able to cover the .gov. With the .gov, we'll be purchasing for our email hosting and all that jazz. Everybody have their email addresses, and then also the website. That will have, it'll be like when you go to www.massac.gov. So within that, it allows us to be able to receive secure emails from the state instead of it going out on just Gmail. Kind of opens a lot of doors, but that will be for email usage and for website.
What do you think we'll get on board with this? Or take a month?
I'm ready. I think we've decided not to go through Meyer for the email, just because it's going to be outrageous.
Okay.
Do our own email, and then I contacted them. It took them a while to answer me because the guy that had done the original quote is no longer with Meyer. So they sent me a new one, added the departments on that we requested. But I'm going to have to email them back and tell them to remove the email onto the quote, and then all I have to do is sign the agreement. I don't know if it has to be you or if I can sign it because I'm the one that reached out to them.
So that email hosting, they're not good?
Right. Because it's like $9 per user and
How much?
$9
Okay.
per email address.
That's per month? And how much is it going to be though?
We're doing it on our
One
own.
time.
So the government, I'm working with Microsoft on the government pricing for that. What it is basically the way these most time like the federal side of it. You pay a monthly fee, and then you have a limited number of users you can have. So, but it just kind of depends on your government size. They have to take all things into consideration, which they might reach back out to me yet. So, as soon as I hear back soon.
This other way, it would be like, what, about $600 a month or more?
The thing is, when you go with hosting with somebody that, for example, them, let's say we decide, hey, we no longer want to be with you, and we have an unpaid invoice. Well, they can hold all the previous emails and all that as ransom until.
And we won't do it.
So now the .gov, before they'll issue anything to us, I have to have a check, I have to be able to send a check in.
For $400.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, we can take care of that this week, though.
We've started some of the cybersecurity project, getting things starting to roll, and we may have the risk assessment follow-up meeting, which we kind of scored in the lower tiers, which we're working on a lot of that to try to remedy. Got a lot of things moving, a lot of things, gears turning, and a lot of work to do. The cybersecurity grant, the HAVA grant, it covers my pay when I'm working on that project 100%. I'm requesting, I'd like to request from you guys to be able to have some help come in, because this is a lot of things I'm undertaking. My son, he's at high school, he's took IT classes, and I mean, just like something to help me, give me some extra help. I didn't know if you guys would approve of that or not. The pays are reimbursed 100%.
How much would the pay be?
Be like maybe $10 an hour.
And then how soon will we be reimbursed?
They give you a turnaround. I guess it's turn the claims in, and they just comptroller's office send it right back out.
I don't know, I haven't seen anything yet.
I know the ELC grant was a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Just to have a little bit extra hands help.
I mean, how many hours a week, or what was you thinking?
I mean, just maybe 2 or 3 days a week, just to come in and help me.
After school?
Yeah, he co-ops
Okay, so he gets out of school like at 1 o'clock.
10:30.
Gets out at 10:30 in the morning?
This kid's smart. He's an engineering student. Yeah, he took most of his stuff.
Apparently, that's why I had to say 3 o'clock.
Yeah, no, he took and I
Say
don't
to
know.
4:30.
See you later.
How'd you go in early?
I'm gonna stay late. But yeah, he co-ops at 10:30, and she graduates in May. So, but I just need some extra little hands to be able to take care of some of this stuff, and then also when I'm not here, being able, if I'm out doing some emergency management, come in and help with, you know, if Haley needs some help with something.
Well, I tell you what, let us talk about it, we'll make a decision by next week. Fair enough?
That's fine.
I don't know what everybody wants to do, we'll talk about it. You said $10 an hour, right? Yeah. That sounds fair.
So what do you think about all the water coming down? What do you think we're gonna get? Any danger?
Well, I mean, think about it, I mean, right now well, you heard about the dam over in Nebraska that failed. And that goes into the Missouri River. And that Missouri River flows into the Mississippi River.
Sure. And Mississippi's up right now, I didn't look at their gauge, but.
So,
Mississippi flows.
it flows going south, and then if that gets backed up,
Don't mess
it'll
around.
out. So,
Yeah, traditionally, kind of, I guess, by experience, no one's really do sometimes, but that's all going out of whack with the family.
they've got, down the Ohio River, right now, as I go up and check it, it looks fairly decent. But the Mississippi though, all that water from Nebraska and all that flow that through,
I mean, the weather service is projected it to drop, but right now, it's at that 45 feet, so we're above flood stage is 39, but we don't have to start at problem stage until we're 50. So, and that 52 is a major flood stage for this area, so.
it's crazy how much, you don't realize that something like, like Nebraska could affect us when it can. Or something down there, up around Cincinnati, they get, have something going on there, that kind of effects it coming down the river. The information's gotta come in, so.
That's kind of what that meeting when the governor was in, the National Weather Service was talking about that could really affect us up north relatively quickly.
And, the way it's looking now, I mean, I haven't looked at the temperatures up there, but it's gonna start melting, and then you throw in what's coming out of Nebraska, all that water from that dam fell, and, Mississippi's gonna look rough. Cape's gonna have to end up putting their gates up.
They already did.
They have did.
Yeah.
Well, I know that
At least one I know of, so.
coming out of Arkansas, the interstate was like about to put coming underwater from Mississippi, just last 2 already. So I know that the water that's coming in from Nebraska, it's going to probably affect us. So possibility we'd be right back where we were. So y'all may want to just keep that on your radar for the future. And,
Yeah, and then-
and with the sand machine, sandbag machine, and just go ahead and just keep everything fresh in your mind.
Oh, yeah, we're constantly paying attention. Another thing with the having.gov email address for us, we have the ability to receive intelligence, classified intelligence from the state, of course. And with not having a .gov, we won't be able to receive unclassified information. So when we go to a .gov, we'll be able to receive classified information, any terrorist threats that could possibly affect us or our area. So.
John. Jason, you have that grant addressing notice? Yes. Turned in.
Ground and paper.
Can see if I could, so.
Let me do that, I'll make you a copy.
Yeah, do that. Thank you.
Now, when's this special construction going to be done?
Hopefully October, May.
Something like that. Yeah, September, October. Yeah, initially it said August.
That could be cutting it kind of short. It's been close, isn't it?
Close for what?
Everything's still looking kind of rough upstairs.
Yeah. We're gonna add the third job to you.
You don't need sleep, do you?
I need something every once in a while. Good to see you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
See you, Rob.
Yeah. I'm going. Okay. That's all right, or you just want to look at it? I just have. Okay. Give me a minute. I would.
If we can try to work on that, I just got a call, so just,
Yeah,
that's who it was calling me,
yeah.
just whatever you
Because they
can
called,
do.
yeah, because Central Medical called me and asked me about that too.
Whatever we can do to ease the stress there. I know I'm asking you for miracles, but
Well, I just quite didn't get understand. But anyway, I released it for him to have.
what you got for us?
Just those plans and balance. I'm gonna try to do being the other tax sale last Friday. I'm going to try to do actually I have it set to do Thursday, the final tax distribution for the year, except for Thursday. That closed out because of 13 tax year. Is that true, letter saying about, yeah, call them, talk to them about that.
Yeah, that's when I asked how you gonna respond to that. It says are you supposed to respond in writing?
JJ called, talked to him,
It says we have 63 days to fill it.
but she called, talked to him yesterday because she already found it. We didn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we called him yesterday.
All right.
I'm not sure who she spoke to, but she called him yesterday.
Good.
That sounds good.
Okay. I'll make the motion then to pass the minutes for March 12th. And then, I was gonna stop down and talk to him later on. Mutual medical, so first, they emailed me last night, so.
Yeah.
So
Is
I
it
was-
has to do with,
Yes. It's an employee's getting to have surgery. During this employee authorization stuff, I just want to talk to you about.
because I released, on something that we had questioned about
Okay.
last week, Reddit.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, I'll just come down and talk to you about that after the meeting.
okay. That'll work. Okay. That's
Thank
all I
you.
got. Okay.
Look, I've got pictures over the last, I don't know how long I've had my iPad. I've got pictures to show you, but it's awful. It doesn't look bad now. It doesn't look bad during the summer. It doesn't look great.
Well, we drive on enough, we finally work the road down.
That's right, we drive on the, you know, how you'd have to do in order to make it. If you're not getting any help, you do the best you can, and you try to maintain as best you can. You all think you could help us finally? Have we waited long enough?
Well, he'll come in here directly, and I'd like to know what the problem is. I don't know why that
Well, they never come down to look at it. Let me tell you another thing that happened. I had a eat out, I'm gonna call it eat out, that's not the right word. Erosion, I'll call it erosion, where sewer goes under the road, right? And it cut out into the road. So I put a cone, I bought a traffic cone, put out there. And the cone was there about 9 months. No chance of it ever getting fixed. So I called them and I said, I've got a road that's eat out and I can get farm equipment across it. I was needing to get a hay, what is it? Disc mower, a big disc mower I got. Couldn't get across it. So I called them and they came out and they fixed that. But they don't ever investigate it. You remember I came in and I said something to Glasgow about it? He said I was down there yesterday. My mother-in-law knows every time somebody comes down there. She said, I talked to her, I said, anybody come down that road yesterday? She said, no. But that's the kind of stuff I've been getting. I mean, just, you know, lie to me. If you're not going to fix it, tell me. But I think we've waited long enough, and I think we deserve a road as good as the other people's got gravel roads.
What's your address?
4101 Bacchus Road.
What is it, Bacchus?
Bacchus, B-A-C-C-U-S.
No, you know, I've been there, but it's been a long time, so it's been a while since I've been down that direction myself, so I just take it down.
It's,
Nothing down there, and not much reason to come.
Yeah.
it is forgotten in the county, that's a fact. But I look at the road that Glenn Barnett lives on. I know Glenn.
Yeah.
And I travel that road. That road's a lot better than mine. He complains about his road, but they put red rock on his, and it's better than mine. I sure hope they don't put red rock on mine. I feel like I deserve to chat as much as anybody else does.
Yeah.
I take care of the road myself. You know, if you want to dedicate the road to me, I'll fix it my darn self. I'm sick of it. I don't think my neighbor will allow it, but I'm just sick of it. And Terry will tell you that we maintain our road is perfect, isn't it? All the time.
We have no trouble, no mud, ever.
No mud
No
on
matter
it.
how much it rains, we have no mud.
If it's got mud, it evidently don't have much rock on it.
Well, that's it.
I've been telling
You
them,
know
I can
about
show you
that.
pictures. I can show you pictures of how bad it is. Did I show you the gate that they had? You all
No,
interested in replacing this gate or not?
Let's see what you got. I didn't know, that's the first I heard of it.
How long ago did they hit that gate?
The day they came down and graded it. They hadn't graded it in 2 years. They came down and hit the gate. And you can see, if you look across there, you can see that High Line pole they had. I've got a good picture of the High Line pole. I'll show you that.
So they just recently came by.
Yeah, like a
Just
week
before
ago
this
or
last
something.
heavy rain, yeah.
And they didn't finish the road. The guy hit this, and I guess panicked. And he didn't finish my road. He only did 2/3 of the road. See, that tells you right there. And I saw him grading it, and I thought, well, why didn't he grade the upper part? Yeah. I had the gate there because I get cattle out of a field. It's the only place I can get them out of the field. The ditch is too high along the fence. That's the only place I can put a place to get the cattle out of the field. So I had a gate there, and I had just recently gotten some cattle out. So it was, I guess you'd say, on the right of way, but it wasn't out in the road. I mean, it was 3 foot from the edge of the white rock. What white rock there is. There's other pictures there you can look at.
Yeah, we can't get all that over.
Did you look at the Highline pole?
Yeah, it looks like the outer part of it.
Like a foot of it cut out, I'd say. And it's pretty cracked. It seems to have cracked it. I think they will, because it's a corner, it's on the corner. I don't know where you saw the guy wires both ways, but it's a really important post and it's not that big. And so I think they'll replace it. necessary that we talk to the county engineer about this, should we?
Well, I think you should, if you want to.
He'll be here within the next.
I don't have any faith in it.
He'll be here in about 10 minutes. Supposed to be here at 4:15.
We had another real problem with our GPS finding Bacchus Road. It always sent them to Portland Cement.
Yeah.
My mother had an episode at our house, and I called the ambulance. And they sent a helicopter. The ambulance came, but then he called the helicopter to come get it. Well, they couldn't find Bacchus Road.
And it was circling.
So they went up to Portland and circled and circled and circled. If she was gonna die, she would have. Because it was 45 minutes now. They could have had her in Paducah in an ambulance in 45 minutes. Well, they couldn't find Bacchus Road. No delivery person, no repairman, nothing could find Bacchus Road. They'd all end up
How many
the same
times did we
place.
ask them to do
Oh,
something
my
about
gosh.
that? Dozens of times.
Yeah, but finally, and I think he went through a state, called the state
I
or
did,
something.
I did.
It seems that they have that fixed if you have a new GPS, you know, a fairly recent GPS.
Do it on
If you
your
have-
phone, it's updated all the time.
Yeah, if you have an old one, it still takes you to Portland.
Large. And they,
So, you know, if you needed a fire truck.
the barge was complaining because people were driving into the
They
plant.
don't know where you are.
They were driving into the plant and looking for me.
Looking for you.
And they were upset, and I asked them if they would do something about it, and they said, "I'll, you know, we'd rather use, you know, it's your problem that they're not coming to your house." And, you know, so we're not having trouble with people finding us. So they didn't want to do anything. I thought maybe they would because of the nuisance, but they didn't. But, yeah, that went on for, well, up until just
For
recently.
the most part, it's fixed, I think.
We have waited, and we're, you know, we don't have a lot more time to live down there. And I'd hate to have to go to an assisted living. We're not too far from that, seriously. I'd hate to have to go to assisted living and find the next person gets his road fixed. As soon as I can. So that's what happened the other place. You know, you don't want to think that things are political or that it matters who you are, but tell me what it is. I'm trying to get these other pictures to come up, and I can't even get it. How do you do that? I was gonna show them pictures of the road.
That road is named after
Carl? What's it?
Was named after Carl? No, he actually
Actually,
lived on Morton Road over.
I think it was Jeff Backus who originally owned the place. And his daughter married a Denton. We just, and Backus had deeded the road to the county. In fact, they had built the road. He gravelled it, and then they deeded it to the county. Backus had, so we thought that made sense to. I'm glad I didn't put Vic Road on there.
You know,
Somebody might have attributed the badness of the road to me.
I remember your dad over there at nursing home, son.
Yeah, he's gonna be 100 in August.
He still knows my first name.
You
His
know,
was mine,
we were
his
going
was-
down the nursing home when your mother was in there,
Yeah.
and Dad was like 94, maybe? I don't know how old he would have been, but in that neighborhood. And he says, "There's one of my former teachers." And I said, No, Dad. No, Dad. It wouldn't be your former teacher. He said, yeah, that's one of my former teachers. Boy, mine sharp.
Yeah.
Your mother had taught him, you know, back whenever you didn't have to have, I guess, more than just
2 years.
high school. What?
2 years. 2 years college.
Yeah, 2 years. So how old was she when she died?
98.
Where the
You've
dirt
been
is.
here 6 or 7 years ago, and I think they finally brought the 2 lots.
Yeah.
That's all she ever did.
That's all it
Never
was
did
for.
more than that. Of course, that don't,
Well, they've got a huge pile out there by the office, a huge
So it was
pile.
charging him, that was for him to
So
pay
there's some
bills with.
stockpile,
That's for oil and chip,
isn't?
probably chips, yeah.
I doubt they're gonna oil and chip my road, are they?
I haven't heard of it.
I haven't heard of it.
I doubt it.
don't hold your breath. No, we just need a good gravel.
That's right, just a decent road
We'll
of
put up
gravel,
with
just so that we don't have, go ultra slow and so that your cars and trucks and things aren't just terribly muddy. She worries whether she's gonna get out. She'll ask me, can I get out the road today? How many times have you asked me that during the winter?
That's
You
a
know,
good way to be there, isn't it?
What?
That's a tough way to be, but
Yeah, it is, yeah, it is.
It is.
And,
I take my mom everywhere.
Well, yeah, we'll talk.
all right, thank you.
Appreciate it very much.
Joe, come on up, man. Got some substance to talk about today.
Good, good.
No.
Ours working.
Somebody come in? Yeah, I guess.
You had to see him, you had to be the face to face out there probably.
He just walked out.
I can see.
Robert Fick? Yes. So, I was gonna tell you about that. I guess he said he came by and he didn't get a chance to talk to you.
Came by our
Yeah.
shed, yeah, I was out looking at some bridges and stuff whenever he come in, but thank goodness.
Remember you're in videos.
Huh?
Remember that's.
You could print me in the paper and that.
So,
Yeah, he's upset that, first of all, I try not to ever talk to him because that doesn't work. I've tried it in the past, I've talked to him, I've met with him in person, and it's always the same thing. So he come in and left messages, and I wrote him a letter about what his latest complaint is. And, you know, as far as, I don't know what he's told you all this morning, but I'll just tell you what he's told me. That, you know, first he came in complaining that his road hadn't been graded in 2 years, which I know we've graded it probably within the last 4 months, but anyway, so we sent a guy out there to grade it, and he graded it, and while he was out there, he backed up into a power pole, and I know about that, and I talked to Mike Logeman about it, and if they're gonna go check it out to see if it's damaged, and if it is, they're gonna replace it, and if there's any cost, it's on us, not on Robert Fick, and I told him that in the letter. He also claims that our guy tore his gate up, which our guy is adamant about saying he did not run into the gate. He actually got out of his grader and moved the gate in order to get by without hitting it. The gate, I saw the gate out there, and it's twisted and bent pretty bad. I've got a picture of it, but nowhere can I tell. I mean, I can't say one way or the other if he hit it or not hit it. He's pretty adamant about saying he did not hit it, and defended himself on that. So.
I don't believe he hit it with blade, or if it dented, it just kind of just,
It's just twisted.
just twisted
I
back.
think he
Like
backed
man
into
comes
it.
back into it.
There's one dent on one of the cross members of it, and that just doesn't look like it would have twisted it the way that it twisted it. And, you know,
What's that gate cost? $80? It's a 12-footer. He wanted what does it, 12-footer?
I asked him in the letter that if he's got a claim, that he needs to write a letter and outline his claim and outline the cost of what it would take to solve the claim. And and then we would look into it. Then I don't know if we're gonna cover it or not, but I'll look into it, I'll do an investigation and see what we wanna do. And I don't even know if it's a 12-foot gate. It probably is.
When your employee,
Yeah, he showed us pictures.
when your employee get that posted, did he notify you, or did you not find out until you got the letter? Or you got the notification from Mr. Fick?
Oh, Fick came by within 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying.
Of quitting time.
Okay. So it was
there
the
were
same
still
day?
some guys at the shed whenever he come by and started complaining, and told them that.
Oh, okay. It wasn't like it was a day or two later, it was that same day?
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Did he send those to you, or did you go take them? Because they look like the same pictures.
I took that.
They look like the same pictures he had on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's got 2 new gates sitting right here up against his fence like he intended to replace them.
Yeah, we didn't see those in the pictures, but.
Yeah, they're right there.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't take, the pictures he provided didn't show that. That's,
So regardless, I have no idea how much the gate cost or anything like that. That's why I asked him to tell us there's the power pole.
yeah.
Gouged the power pole and
Peels and
you know, I asked, and again, that, he did admit to that, and he said, yeah, I did that. And he goes, the reason why I did that is I was trying to avoid the gate. Which,
Yeah,
you
they're
never
right
know.
across from each other, so I mean, it looks
Yeah.
like they could have possibly.
Joe, how long has it been since we put any rock on there? Do you remember?
About 2 years ago. He complains about that every couple months.
Yeah.
I just tell you what, his road has more rock on it than 90% of the gravel roads rock out.
They say there's mud coming up there.
There's possibly a little mud here and there that's mixed in with the rock, but coming up through it, like because the rock is too thin, I don't believe it. There may be a spot or two towards the end that we didn't cover last time we put rock out there that could use some, but
Well, that road, what is that road out trying to back us from?
yeah, Briarwood.
Okay. It's white rock also, isn't it?
No, it's orange, yeah.
Oh, is it? So I know when they would grade that, they grade this too.
His is the only section of gravel back there. So, I mean, power pole is in SIEC's hands, and the gate, you know, depending on, he mentioned, did he get the letter? Or
He never mentioned a word. He told us that he stopped by and you were out to lunch and he never heard back from you. I don't, that's what he said, was it?
That's exactly what he
Yeah.
said.
I mean, I'm not saying that's accurate or not, but that's what he told us. Yeah. Anyway. And he said only about 2/3 of the road got graded.
That's a little stretch too. I know there's if you're familiar with Backus Road at all, it goes all the way back to a 90-degree curve to the right. And Kevin graded everything from Briarwood all the way to where that 90-degree curve is. He did not go down that section to the right, which there is, I don't know how long that is, but it's, I'd say it was less than a third, but maybe 3/4 of it may have got graded and that. But I mean, you look down and it's not really, it doesn't really need grading there as far as what I saw, but, you know, that's a matter of opinion too. And that's all well and good. I mean, if every time he calls, he just goes on the same thing about we deliberately treat him awful. And we deliberately don't put rock on his road, and we deliberately do this, and we just, you know, he just doesn't understand why we treat him that way. Like I said, I've talked to him a half a dozen times, and I've met with him out there in person once, and it just doesn't get anywhere. It doesn't get anywhere. The same accusations come up. He always tells us we haven't been out there in 2 years when we were out there in December, I think it was, or January, because he called and complained about a pipe washing out. We went out there, and we fixed the pipe, which really wasn't anything to fix, and we graded his road then, and that was in December. He calls this time and says we haven't graded it in 2 years. Well, you know, he's either delusional or he's the biggest liar in the world. One of the two. I just can't deal with him. I can't talk to him. So that's why I wrote him the letter. I'm not going to talk to him in person. If he wants to talk to me in here amongst all you all, I'll be glad to. But I'm not going to one-on-one talk to him anymore because it doesn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
I've got a federal aid agreement that if we could take care of it today, I would like to. I didn't have it on the agenda because I just received it on Friday. It was after the agenda came out. But it's for the bridge project on Portland Road. It's just a standard thing that the state requires because federal money is going along with this. It just outlines the fact that the federal money is going to cover 80% of the project and we are going to cover 20% of the project. And along with signing the federal aid agreement, really just needs to be, I don't know if you guys need to vote on this or if it's, you have to sign it as the chairman on the federal aid agreement. We do have to vote on and pass a resolution to pay for our 20% though, and that's typical of every project that we do.
Can we wait and do it next week, or are you in a time constraint?
I don't think there's that big of a time constraint.
I'd rather have it on the agenda so everything's
Okay.
right, especially since we're going to be voting on something.
Okay. Well,
You just give it to Haley and tell her how you want it on the agenda for next week.
is she here today?
Yeah, she's here today. She just.
Not here. She's here, but
She's
she's
here,
not
but
in.
not in here. That way, you know, everything's. I didn't, if they ever come back and request some documents, we could show what's on the agenda and all that.
Yeah. The project is estimated at $230,000. That means that the federal allotment is going to cover 80% of that, which is $184,000, and we have to pay 20%, which is $46,000. And that's what the resolution reflects, that we're going to pay that portion of the project, 20% from our federal aid matching fund. So it's just kind of a precursor to what you're going to vote on next week.
Is that got the wooden pilings under there?
That one is the one. Let's see, that. You've got auction coming up Saturday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's going to be held at the fairgrounds.
I mean, it's not our auction.
Sure.
5 items is on that auction.
You want to go to it?
I guess I have to because if they meet our minimums and I sell the stuff, I gotta sign the
Yeah.
titles and I gotta sign the bill of sales for the equipment.
Know what time yours is going to be on the?
They said he's gonna try to sell the bigger stuff like that around 12 or 1. I don't really know how much stuff he has. He's got a big flyer.
Yeah, it looked like a flyer, it probably had a fair amount of stuff. Probably be a nice auction.
I'd say a lot of it's big stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of it, well, yeah, he's gonna have a lot of littles, but there was quite a bit of stuff in what I seen on Facebook post, Mortgage Charity yesterday, it was pretty, quite a few big stuff there.
Yeah.
Like 10 pieces or so at least, big, big, you know.
Looks like they're revinyl siding that building there too, aren't they?
Well, yeah, I guess that's
I guess they contracted that out. Looks pretty good. Oh, sure.
what is that fairground board called? Is that?
I don't know. They advertise in the plan because they rent that building. I forget what the name of it is.
Yeah, I think that's all I. you guys got anything else?
No. We're good.
I mean, as far as proceeding with Robert Fick, if he tells me a number about this gate is what he wants, compensation or whatever, what do you want to do?
You say the operator said he did not hit it.
Said he didn't. I don't want to prove that one way or the other.
I don't know how much he gave it.
They look like 12 footer. I mean, they're probably anywhere from 85 to 125, I guess. I don't know. Usually a Rule King, just depends on what gauge you buy, whether it be 10 gauge, 12 or 16 or whatever they come in.
Yeah.
This
Really
one's pretty light feeling.
pretty light. Yeah, it's probably 16 or something. You know, it's probably, it's been a long time since I bought one. It's probably
$100.
$100 or so. I mean, if that's, you know, just see what it comes up with. Go from there, I guess. What do y'all think?
I think we said what we need to go ahead and get on with it and go on. No more than this.
No, it's not like, it ain't a $300 game or nothing.
Yeah.
It should be 150 or less by any standards.
Yeah.
Just whatever it is, just what like Harrison, I guess.
Well, I mean, so the man take that gate, just twisted right back. I know we won't be satisfied with that, but I mean, could you take that
You
gate?
could actually take it back and probably drive over it with a tractor
Uh-huh.
and get it straightened up, but, you know, it's gonna be a whopper job where it won't hang right, but, you know, it'd work for something me and you could use, but.
Oh, yeah. I didn't say that, I didn't know if they were taking to the shop, but, I mean, I know he won't accept that gate, but
It doesn't matter what we do, he ain't happy with it. If we give him, if we buy him 5 games, we'll still be pissed the next time we go out there. I mean, it doesn't matter with that man.
yeah, I understand.
But
I've been here since '98, he's been in here numerous times.
And as far as the gate, I really don't care if we can give him a new gate or not. I mean, like you said, it's not like it's a huge amount of money, it's more the principle with me than anything. But it won't bother me one way or the other.
Just see what he comes up with, as long as it's not just ridiculous to me. The price of the gate, we know what the gate costs, so just, like it's.
Shove that camera on there.
Got anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right.
See you.
Thank you, Joe.
Anywhere from $89, depending on the gauge.
Yeah, it sounded like a good game yesterday. I seen the tweet about it. What happened? That stuff on Jody Johnson. He'll be in later. University of Illinois Extension Office.
Yeah.
Josh texted me this morning, said he's gonna be running maybe a little bit behind. I'll text you, let you know when he gets here. He's got a bunch of 9 o'clock stuff on his stomach, he said.
2019 outside of them.
Yeah. The one big one on there for 12,000 was the bulletproof vest that we just ordered sometime probably in April. That grant will come open for that. We'll apply for it. You know, we've always gotten it in the past.
The one Christy Stevens is working on.
Well, that'll be one of them. The other one's for the car. This is the main one that we have to get.
Okay.
And there's a bill on the back page for US Foods for 8,000. That's for that oven that we talked about a couple of weeks ago.
Bless you.
So it might be like 10, 15.
Yeah, but I don't know if he'll be here 10 to 2. I can text you when he gets here, or if you want to come back around 10 to 2. Is that all you got?
Yeah, that's it. Be back. Thank you.
He's on that board,
Yeah, that Ron Georgia is going off of it.
Roy.
Roy Georgia, okay. And then he gave us two names, Casey Douglas or Danny Burnett. Danny Burnett or Casey Douglas. 21 of those.
Who's Casey's dad, is that?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
T.R.
Charles, I bet. Charles.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Danny, that'd be a good man. And that other one might be also.
Yeah, we just need one of them. And,
You know, flip the quarter, Joe.
Do you want that man?
Tails it is, too. No, I don't know. I know both of them, they're both.
this Bay Creek Conservation District Board, this is for Carlos Curley. His name is. Yeah. This would be different than what Horntrop was talking, Horman was talking about. It's a different board.
Okay. So Bay Creek, that's a pretty big bay.
Yeah. So this one with Horman, he just said we have to do it by June. Either Dan Burnett or Casey, that was something we all think about.
Okay.
But this one right here, this is something I didn't even know about.
Bay Creek?
Yeah.
It's on.
I know it's on here, but I didn't know this name here, Carlos Curley. Reading him, you don't know who that is? You don't, Jeff? Anybody?
Retired from prison.
Okay. So he's on the Bay Creek Conservation District Board. I guess they contacted you all. I guess he just wants to be reappointed.
Maybe one that was just sent
You all have any objections with him?
Nope.
Okay.
That email's just sent to Lynn.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion then to reappoint him to that board until his term will expire March 24th, 2024.
Second.
What was the last name?
Curley.
Curley.
K-E-R-L-E-Y. And then we also have the Fort Massac District Board. I think they want to reappoint Darrell Logan, David Young, Elton Krim, and Michael Servants. Okay, so all on May 1st, 2024. Do I have anyone that's
Well, I guess
approached
all
you
these
or
people
talked to you about that?
want to be reappointed.
Huh?
Yeah, I guess all these people want to be reappointed.
Yeah, because the cover letter came from David Travis, and he's requesting them to be reappointed. You all have anyone else that's contacted you on be on the board?
Everybody don't.
All right, is that a motion by?
Made a motion.
Second.
Okay.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Just need your signature. You all got that over Christmas break?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Really proud of the work that the staff have done the past year. Nice publication. We did not pay for this, so there was no local tax dollars used for that publication. Yeah. So I've always told them on campus, something like this, I come to show you, you're looking at me like, why are you spending money on something that nice? Because we can tell about what we do much cheaper than something like this. But whenever they offered, I said, yeah, absolutely, and really proud of to be able to showcase the stuff that we do. So in Massac County this past year, if you hadn't heard, we've done a lot of working with the Rotary. The previous year, we had done some cooking schools in Metropolis Elementary. Rotary found out about it and wanted to push that program across to all of the grade schools in the county. So they donated $4,000, and we were just finishing up doing cooking schools in all of the schools. So we did have an incident out at the near the office. One of our storage buildings that we were renting got broke into. We lost a lot of, about $10,000 worth of equipment and such. Most of it the cooking school equipment, but we're recovering. Vicki is a pretty resourceful individual, and we're making up for that loss. But really, like I said, proud of the staff and the stuff that they're doing. We've got a community garden we did last year, working with the city. They put us a water meter in. Was it Max?
Russell.
Yeah, Russell, thank you. He donated a lot that we've got it on. We're working with the Rotary to help get us volunteers to service that project this year. That was the biggest issue, was having volunteers help us with watering and weeding and just little stuff like that. But produce that's being grown, we're taking to the COPE, to the food pantry, and they tell us every time anything we bring in, it goes out the door that day. So unfortunately, the need is real. Another project that we've done recently is we took 5 of our 5 county food pantries over to Evansville. That's where our regional food bank is. And we found out when we were over there that they distribute about 7 million pounds of food through the 3 states. They call it Tri-State. And Illinois, that are targeting, because the need is real here, they're wanting to double the amount of food that they're donating. So they're wanting to go from 7 to 14 million. And they're looking for more food pantries. They say that our area needs more food pantries to be able to deliver food from. So if you know of anyone, churches, organizations that are interested, or you think might be interested, contact my office and let us work with them to get in contact with Tri-State. So COPE does a good job here, but it's just like any other organization, they need more help. But believe we're using your tax dollars wisely. I'm confident that we're leveraging the local dollars. You can see the federal dollars in our report, I want to say is more about 66% of our operation is federal dollars. So I didn't talk about the community kitchen that we've got brought online over here at Southern Seven at their new Head Start Center. So hopefully you'll be seeing more reports of stuff that we're working on over there at the community kitchen, help people with nutrition wellness. So with that, I would ask it, we keep the referendum where it's at. I'm not asking for an increase in any of the counties. So
I'll just pass this around real quick, we can look at it, but not that pricing. Basically, you're just asking for the levy, 61,000 and change, I think, something. Make it up Champagne much?
Yeah, this time of year it's about once a month. It seems like we've got meetings and such up there, but I've got to go up there in April for a 3-day meeting. So, depending on what's going on locally.
Pretty cool this time of year up there.
Yeah, they definitely have a different code than what we've got down here. It's not uncommon to go up there in April and have snow on the ground. I just remind them, we're the sunny side of Illinois, and 67. Actually, I've got another copy. I'll leave with the clerk if you want to. That way she's got it for her records.
All right, can I get a motion to, I guess, to accept the extension education levy for beginning July 1st, 2019 until June 30th, 2020 for the amount of $61,903.
Second.
Okay.
So you're familiar with our garden project.
Where was that planted at?
Pardon me?
Where was that garden at?
It is, I forget which street it is on.
His house?
Yeah, right next to, I think it's right next to his house,
Okay.
over there by the old lumber yard
Yeah.
in that neighborhood. So, yeah, we've had problems with two-legged and four-legged critters
I'm sure.
getting into it, so we're talking about maybe putting up some fencing and such, but, we're pleased, because that, we got.
Behind his house?
Hmm?
Must have been behind his house, I guess.
It's on the west side. It's along that west side in that open lot. So if you drive by it, you can't miss it.
Right on the road there.
Yeah, we've got signage. It's called, it's there on the front page.
Oh, okay. That water, how much was that water bill?
The water bill, they don't charge us.
Really?
Yep. So they
So you got water within a few feet of the place?
Yeah. So we've got a water hose down in the water meter, so volunteers can go there and take the meter off, turn the water on, and
Yeah.
water right there. So
Good deal.
yeah, it's convenient. But hopefully you'll hear more about it, and we'll see more results this year in the amount of food that we can get donated, and maybe spark some interest, get more people to grow gardens. So I thank you, and if you will probably be seeing some information about some county commissioner training if you're interested. Joe Griggs from Alexander County went through the program last year and was a graduate.
No joke.
And it's like four or five sessions, so I would encourage you to talk to him about it, and they do graduation.
Johnny about that.
Okay, ask him about, well, I'm gonna see him here in a few minutes. I'm going over to Alexander County, so,
Will you mail us out some stuff on it? Or?
yeah, we will.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll probably come from us. In fact, if you look back through your report that I sent you, we showcased Joe in there for that accomplishment. But what I think is neat is that October's graduation, they do at the Abraham Lincoln Museum. So, and I don't believe there's a charge, no fee at all for for you to participate. So, something to consider. Last year, we worked in your chamber president. It's usually only for elected officials, but we didn't have enough apply, and so we made the exception to let your chamber president, but she didn't finish it. But
She did?
she didn't. No, she started, but something came up, and so she was unable to finish. But if you see it and you've got questions, don't hesitate. And in fact, anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out to me. If you're looking for specific demographics or anything like that, we've got resources on campus that we can help you out with. But appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You
Thanks
too.
for coming in.
No problem.